today. I am Leo Gilling from Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, from Jamaicans.com, LMG, all of that good stuff. And I have the most wonderful lady, look on her smile, in front of me today. Her name is Letna Allen, and one day I call somebody at Jamaica. I say, you know, one woman named Letna Allen. She said, Jesus, please, you find her? I had my girlfriend, you know. So, you know a guy named Rudolph Barif? Don't tell me say no, because I'm Bex.
Rudolph Barif?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay, all right, good. All right. So we know her good, we grow up together. Something like that. How are you?
Well, I am good.
It's really good to meet you.
I'm good.
I love the locks, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, it's nice.
I started loxing after I got cancer.
Oh.
Because I was diagnosed 2011.
Okay.
And I decided at that point that I'm not going to put any more perm in my hair, no more weave, no more braids. I was just going to go natural. In fact, I was wearing the wigs.
So the cancer had anything to do with the hair?
No, when you get the cancer, you get chemotherapy.
Oh,
you lose the hair.
Oh, I see.
You lose the hair when you get chemotherapy.
Okay.
But I didn't get the real chemo. I got the chemo tablets, the letrozole for a year, and then I got tamoxifen.
Okay.
And the letrozole did me out.
How long were you on it for?
I was on the letrozole for a year. I had to change it because it just blew me up so.
Oh, I see.
And I lost the hair. So I got it all off, and when it started growing back, now I twisted it.
Okay.
And I was wearing wigs.
Okay.
And I went to do, I think maybe the third or fourth surgery on my breast. And this, one of the nurse, the OR nurse, said to me, Miss Letna, you know, you can't do the surgery in wig. And I said, what are you talking about? I've done all the surgeries in wig and nobody ever asked me. She said, because I wasn't your OR nurse at the time, so you can't go in and look. They wouldn't even recognize it because the wig looked like real hair.
Oh.
But you have to take it off. So she pulled off the wig off my head. And she said, oh my God, the salt and pepper is so pretty. Then I just start graying. Eh? She said, salt and pepper is so pretty. And look at the texture of your hair. And she dropped the wig in the garbage.
Oh.
And she threw it in the garbage. And Leo, that was what gave me the confidence to go out with the hair.
Oh, nice.
White and black. Because I used to dye it when it just started getting gray. I used to dye it. And then after that exposure, when I came out of surgery and they took off the head cap that they gave me, and I said, no wig. I said, you know something, I am going out there. A lot of my friends was like, whoa, why you don't color your hair? And I said, after cancer, you expect me to put color in my hair and I don't know what give me cancer. So I didn't color it. I continued with it, salt and pepper. And the locks started growing and growing, and I just take care of it. Had somebody doing it, went to a loctician, get it done like every 3 weeks.
It's beautiful.
And then when COVID come now, COVID taught me to do it myself.
Oh.
So I did it myself. Went on Mr. Google and YouTube and Mr. Google and Miss YouTube, and they taught me how to do it. So I'm doing it myself.
It's interesting. We start off the interview with your challenges, your health challenges. Yeah?
Well, I like to talk about my challenges.
Yes.
I like to talk because I have 2 knee replacement.
What?
I did one 6 years ago, and I did the other one at the end of May, going on, call it April, 30th of May, March, 30th of March this year. So call it April. So that's why I'm walking with the cane. Because
well, you're thriving so nicely. What do you have to tell the people about your challenges? What is it that you want to tell people right now?
I just want to tell people that take care of yourself. Drink a lot of fluids, a lot of water, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Get your regular checkup. Do not be afraid. Because men sometimes are afraid to go to the doctor. Especially when they have to do like a colonoscopy. Because, you know, they go up.
Well, what about the prostate check? Then
and the prostate check, them don't want, because, all right, for the colonoscopy, they go up in the bum. They wash you out, give you something, peg light, and it clean out everything. And then they go up in the bum with the camera to look in the cornel to see if you have polyps or if cancer is growing. And that is very invasive, very.
Okay.
The prostate, I don't know what they do, if they just feel or they go up in the penile tube, I don't know.
You want me to tell you? Go up in your bum too.
Then go open it too. Well, I have a friend, you know, in past now. He was in the hospital. And him decided him not gonna make nobody do that. And when them ready to do the surgery on him, him walk out.
Oh, okay.
And him walk right into him grave.
Oh.
Not even 2 months later.
Well, that's a good thing to want to tell men right now.
Yeah. And these guys in here know him.
Okay.
They know of him. He was a popular radio disc jockey here from CHRY 105.
Okay.
I don't want to call her name because you're going to put it out there.
Yeah, man.
Well, no matter. Delroy Sterling.
Okay.
And he's gone, you know, God rest his soul.
Okay.
But I always tell men, I said, when I'm in an event, I like a bigger event, I always said, you know, the woman that is sitting beside you, if she's yours, don't be afraid to allow her to go and make a doctor feel up her breast. Make sure do her mammogram. Make sure do her ultrasound. Because if you don't, she might be gone next year. And I said the same thing to the ladies. Make sure that your man get checked. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, it will eat them out. And you will eventually lose them. Or they lose you and somebody take either of you. So what you prefer? Either you go and get your thing done. When you go to the doctor, you can get one of two answers. Either you have cancer or you don't. If you have it, you go and get your treatment for it. You go to your surgery. Thank God surgery in Canada is free.
Yes.
Chemotherapy, radiation is free. You have to pay for your tamoxifen. You have to pay for your oral medication. But if you are smart, there's an organization here called Trillium. You just register for Trillium at Shoppers Drug Mart, and Trillium pay about 90% of the cost of your medication.
That's nice. All right, so let's I'm very happy that I get a chance to meet you because I saw you a few weeks ago, and I was so impressed. I recorded you and sent you up on YouTube, and people called me and said, "Man, Gisam, this woman is a good man, Gisam," you know, that kind of thing. And so I asked Tamo to tell you that I want to interview you. So here we are.
Yes.
I want to ask you a little bit about your girlhood when you were growing up. Tell me about mom and dad and sister and brother and everything.
Well, that is funny, you know, because I always make my growing up be funny.
Yes.
Some people get offended by what I say, but I mean, it's my story. Well, I was born in a little district on my birth certificate. So I was born in somewhere called Orange River in Clarendon, which is, I think, on the outskirts of Morgan's Pass and Bryan's Hill. I was born to a man named Amaziah Allen and Linda Campbell at the time.
You know, the most embarrassing thing you said so you know, is what? Amaziah.
Amaziah.
I must be a proud man.
Yes.
What a wicked name. Okay.
In fact, he has 2 kids.
Okay.
And neither of us were for his wife.
Oh.
And we're from 2 separate mothers. My other sister is in England. But my mom had 7 kids. And my mom ended up married to another man named Allen. Oh. So I was raised under that household. I was raised part of the time with my aunt, who teach me to cook, who teach me to plant things, who teach me to plant coffee, teach me to plant yam, dig yam hole, cut cane, cut wood, make the cutter and put under my head and balance the bucket of water, the cursing pan of water for my head. Mama used to do that. And I love the fact that Mama taught me to be industrious. Her name is Winifred Thomas, God rest her soul, she gone. But Mama taught me to be industrious. Everything that I've learned until I was 13 was from Mama. And those things, I take them forward with me. Mama teach me to make potato pudding. Mama teach me to cook in the, I don't know if you know the pot, the big black pot with the 3 foot
pot.
And the Hannah Kimbo.
When
When Mama at 10 to 12, Mama cook that pot of red peas soup in it, you know, with the pigtail and the dumpling and the cassava and the yellow yam with the sweet potato. The caramel dumpling flour done with that scoops of caramel. Nothing nice. So, and Mama said, "Come here, little girl, stand up on the stool." And she hold on the stool, put her foot on the stool so that me stand up strong. And she give me the 2 shoe. And you hook it in at the pot side and you lift it up out of the fire. And she hold the thing and then she hold me back and let me step down with the pot and put it on the dresser. Then gas stove you're using now. A wood fire. Because the wood fire she used to have 4 stones.
Yes, that's right.
Or she have a stone
black.
should have and a block.
You
And
know,
a
black
block
and two
because the
stone.
house never make out a block.
Right.
As 4 stone.
Yes.
And then Brother Ren, who would live up above us, him had a blacksmith shop. So you know the I don't know what them call it for the truck spring.
Yes, the spring you put on the 2 stone cross.
Yes,
cross
you put it on it, and then you get 2 pieces of steel, some steel, and part it off so it look like you have 3 different cooking
That is
areas.
exactly right.
So that is how I cook on wood fire.
Oh my
But
God.
Leo, you notice now, say, going up, I'll stove, get rid of the wood fire.
Well, you have to tell the people them.
Yeah, the oil stove
Okay.
and the coal pot.
A cursing oil stove you talk
The
about?
Kersenile stove
Okay, all right.
got rid of the wood fire.
Yes, I know.
People get the coal pot for roast breadfruit because you can't waste your Kersenile for roast breadfruit. Because you know breadfruit take long for roast and we finish the buckler oil.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
So from the wood fire to the Kersenile stove,
Yes.
from the Kersenile stove back to the coal pot with the iron,
Yes, yeah, man, yes.
and then from the coal pot now them used to sell the 2-burner gas stove them.
Yes.
The 2-burner gas stove with a little cylinder underneath it.
Yes.
And from that, they move up now to a little beanie bit of gas stove. So,
Yes.
with 4 burner, a little beanie bit of gas stove. Some people use a little cylinder on the back, but most people had
Use
this
a
big
100-pound.
100-pound cylinder.
Absolutely.
And then bore the hole with the tube and it go into the stove. I never know if them have that at Jamaica. But too much teeth down there.
You can't give you 100 pounds out the door anymore.
No, you can't live. And then when time started to get bad now, them some grill
Yes.
and put on the 100-pound and grill it onto the wall and use a padlock and lock it.
So hold on. When you were growing up, did you have a kitchen or was it everything was outside?
Kitchen outside.
It was outside. Okay.
You have to go down the step to go in a kitchen.
Okay. Yes.
And the latrine then further.
Tell me about the latrine.
The lat-
More I know the experience of the latrine.
The latrine,
Yes.
the latrine did have 2 seats.
Yes.
You have a small seat for the children and a big seat. And it have a cover.
Yes.
So how they make the cover now, they use leather or rubber from the car tire that you get from Brother Ren and nail it on the top and the bottom. 2 places. So when it open, it go back and it close. Then you have to go into that latrine, you know, every Saturday morning, go clean it with straw dye and oak, you know. And the red polish. And it have to shine. And that toilet, you know, full of newspaper.
Yes.
Because you have to have newspaper and then not toilet paper. Newspaper in there. You understand? You have to have the newspaper.
All right. What is the significance of the newspaper?
The newspaper is the same use that you use the toilet paper. Sometimes you have to wet it if you get sick. If you don't wet it later, you take it and you rub it up like you wash. Like you wash to soften it. Or when them run out of newspaper, you must have a bush called burbush. Burbush soft and velvety. And you use the burbush. Then you know what? When you get worm medicine for go to school, you know.
Oh God.
And you go in a toilet, you know, and the worms start to come out and doing
Yes,
you know.
people don't understand. Go on.
The worm, because when you go to school, you have to get washed out.
Exactly.
And the worms, sometimes.
Tapeworm them. They're long too. Yes.
Sometimes them tell you, say, Mama tell me, say, all right, me need to see how much worm you pass.
Yes.
Do not go to the toilet.
When I'm Jimmy,
Go in the bush.
Yeah, okay.
Go in a bush, go do. And then maybe come and see your car.
Oh God. Oh God.
She don't want you do it in the chimney because it might run out.
They don't want that anymore. They don't do that anymore.
They don't do that no more.
No.
And I hope I put in their school with worm in their belly, you know.
Yes.
Because of the whole heap of sweet things with them and drink now. Because sometimes we're not drinking soda.
Yes.
When you go to school, Mama mix some syrup and put some lime in it. Or Sybil orange.
Who could afford soda anyway?
Or sugar and water with Sybil orange in it.
Exactly.
So we not have them put sweet things, them sweet biscuit there. The only sweet biscuit we used to eat, used to have some like a yellow biscuit called police button.
Yes, I remember police button. Mm-hmm.
Police button. And them have a cheese crunches. Cheese crunches was never sweet, it was salty.
Right.
Cheese crunches was salty. So all them, and you have like bun and cheese.
Yes.
But who have money for buy that? You go to school and you come home and you walk 3 miles to school and 3 miles back barefoot sometime. And you know, when you come from school, Leo, you get a nice pair of shoes, which is a Tarzan shoes, which is the rubber shoes. Leo, when you're in the rubber shoes and sun hot, you know, You know, you have to take it off and walk barefoot. But when you're coming from school and rain falling, and you're in the rubber shoes, nothing feel nice up on your foot like when the rain wet it. They used to call them Tarzan.
Yes, remember Tarzan. Did your mom, let me ask you this, because there's something that I was on my show the other day and we're talking about women as we grew up. I remember a lot of parents used to teach their daughters to be wives. Was that was that your experience?
Yes, Mama did teach me to be very wise.
Wife.
To be,
the wife of a husband, not wife.
To be wife.
Yeah,
wife.
Yes, a wife.
No, you know.
They didn't teach you that you have to get a good man and this is what you needed to do when you have.
No, she never want to tell me that at a young. What she taught me though, I remember when I went to my grandmother. And I think, I don't know which part Mama did go, but when they go to my grandmother the Saturday evening. And the Sunday morning, I sit down on her step. And when she called her for breakfast, I get up and my nightie back blood up. And she said, what you gonna do? And she give me one lick and I said, what you gonna do? What that?
Oh my God.
And I said, but Mom, me never do nothing, Mom. Me never go nowhere, Mom. And I left the morning, put on my clothes, and go back home to Mama. Mama sat me down, put me in her lap to sit down. And Mama said to me, say, this is what we call bird's eye.
Yes.
It's like a nappy, like a baby nappy.
Yeah.
And Mama folded it properly and carry me down a toilet and said, show me how to put it on. And I put it on. And when I finish, after my bathe and thing, clean up. And when I finish, she come back and she put me to sit down beside the bed. And she said, no, you can have a baby. And I said, no, Mama, how me forgot baby, Mama, me a little pitney. She said, your body is that now of a big woman. So anytime them boy, don't make them boy touch you. Don't make them boy come near you. And he said, if daddy come near you, if Jags or Duke come near you, or anybody other boy come near you, tell me.
I don't think you expanded on the origin of female, what you call nappy. I think you need to bring that out to what it is today.
The nappy that we had at that time was a white fabric, which was about 2 feet long by about 1 foot, or 18 inches by 1 foot wide. And that was what they used to put on babies.
Right.
What we use now as Pampers and throw them away.
Right.
Nappy, you put on it on the baby,
right.
and then you wash it and it's white. When you have nappy hang up on the line, to the neighbor, there was one of two things happen. That somebody breed and they hide it and the baby born, or somebody have them period.
Okay, so that's what
because
I was...
that's twice, you see. I mean, in a woman's life that you see nappy. Either the period or a baby.
Okay, so I wanted you to express to our audience the period part. Because now that nappy is now what?
That nappy now is now pads.
Pads.
It's called pads. That's the always and whatever pad them have now.
Okay.
Should we stop reading them things a long time? Never remember any.
And tampons.
And tampons and tampax.
And tampax,
so that is what the nappy bread does.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yes. But them time the Leo no care what happen, it have to come back lily white,
Yes, it has to come
because you have to wash it.
Yes.
And sometimes you wash it with lime juice, rub the lime on it.
Oh.
And then them had a little thing in a little wrap up in a paper called blue.
I talked about that the other day.
And you have to dip the white clothes in blue. And the blue of the water is the white of the thing look on the line.
Yes.
And it's so lovely when you see nappy flying on the line and the breeze blowing. People stop hang up clothes outside.
No, they don't do that no more. That's right.
You have sunshine.
Yes.
'Cause even here now when it's nice and sunny, I hang my clothes outside. And then sometimes when I take it up now, I just like put it in the dryer to make it get warm. So because when you wring the clothes or when you machine wash the clothes and you hang it outside, it tend to dry with the wrinkle. So you want the wrinkles to come out of it, so you just put it in the dryer for 5-10 minutes until it get hot, and the wrinkles come
they have blue soap now.
and they have blue soap. I think the blue There's still, I've been to Jamaica and I see people still using blue.
Okay.
But the blue soap now is very prevalent.
Okay. All right.
To use to wash.
I love talking to you. Oh my God. Do you know what a crane is?
The crane? Where you hang up the meat, you know? When Daddy killed the pig, Daddy will kill the pig September, right? We go to school, Daddy killed the pig. And Mama give Mama the big round, which is the leg part. The part that just them make ham.
Rump.
Yeah. And Mama take it now, Mama season it up with pimento and scallion and thyme and browning and everything and dig it in, push it, take all. Like now, Mr. have something where you push it in and you spray down the seasoning like injection needle. Mama used to joke it and then push
it down
and then she tie it up in a mesh.
Right.
And tie it up over the fire.
Yes.
And it stayed there from September, October, November, December. Rat can't trouble that because rat can't walk for go down pani. You understand? Because of where it is. And it's the smoke from the fire that cook that thing. And you dare not go and slice off piece because if you slice it, it will show. It will show. And my husband was telling me that, you know, if you slice it, you get the knife, as the knife you use to slice it, make it red hot.
Yes.
And then you put it on the place where you slice it.
Oh, I saw your TV.
Cover it up back. No, me never used to teeth it because I never know that trick. My husband told me about it. But in Christmas when you come, if you have that piece of pork, not nice so.
Right. So we're on Christmas now. Tell us about Christmas.
Well, Christmas. Well, Mama used to plant coffee. And Christmas time, she used to sell Mr. Latte coffee around a sale, a James Hill. And Christmas time now, we used to go into the field, coffee walk we call it, and pick up what is known as rat cut.
Rat cut.
Rat cut is when the rats go into the coffee walk and pick off the ripe cherry coffee with the juice, and them suck the juice and the coffee beans fall on the ground. So you pick up the rat cut. And Mr. Latte, the man who we sell the coffee to, we'll sell him like bushels of coffee. And then you would transport that coffee, sell it to the coffee pulping house in Trout Hall, right? And then you get him the rat cut. And I don't know when to carry the rat cut, but we used to get the rat cut and fill the pan with rat cut and sell it to Mr. Latte. So
Is that right? So the rat cut is still good coffee?
Still good coffee beans.
Oh.
And what Mama used to do sometime with the rat cut now, she used to parch it sometime. Parch it in the pot.
I know
the dry Dutch pot. You put it in there, you stir it, and you stir it till them come brown. And then she have the mortar. After I parch and crisp, you put in the mortar and you beat it.
You know, you're teaching people something.
And you beat it. And then when you beat it now, she sieve it. And the fine coffee now, like what they call instant coffee. When you sieve it, you get that fine coffee. And then the coffee head now, she use that and make and boil. So when Mama start to make coffee for Daddy, she will wash out that pot that she make the coffee in and put on a fresh pot of coffee Monday morning. Tuesday morning she throw some more coffee head pan that and throw water. Wednesday morning she put some more coffee head pan that and throw water, so she don't throw away the coffee until the end of the week.
Wow.
So every day the coffee gets stronger. And children weren't given coffee.
Yes, we weren't allowed to drink coffee.
We weren't allowed to drink coffee. Bush tea.
Bush tea, yes.
Strong back. But I used to drink a tea named strong back tea. Them say that good for pee-pee bed.
You used to pee-pee bed?
I used to pee-pee bed. Pee-pee the bed. And when I get up in the morning, I take all sorts of old clothes from under the bed mattress and put in there. And when I used to live with my cousins, when I used to sleep with them when they were at the house, Kima and Sister One, Lord bless them soul, them used to cover for me. But after they leave the house and me start to pee-pee bed now, Mama always come search. And Mama always give me 10 chance to 1. Mama say, if you pee-pee the bed, me now beat you for the first time, me I go forgive you. But 10 chance to 1. And not only 10 chance to 1 for the pee-pee bed, you know. If we go out and do something,
yes,
and she
everything,
hear,
yes.
everything add up.
Yes, okay.
And then when the 10th one comes, she don't make it go into the 11th, you know.
Yes.
The 10th one come, you know, say, we'll get beaten. I know when Mama give me the beating, when me wash me beard, wash me foot, for go on my bed and put on my nightie, that's when me get the beating. Sometimes I put on all 3, 4, 5 dresses. One night, I remember she came out and I have on the dress them and the nightie. And she said, but Dawn, how you fat so? You're pregnant? I said, no, ma'am. She said, so how you fat so? Come here. Take off the nightie. Let me show you about. I take off all of the dresses and put on back the nightie. And she laced me.
Jeez,
She give me the, I remember I run in the bed behind Daddy as her husband. And Daddy said, Winnie, if you lick the girl one more time, now you're going to trouble. And she just pushed me to her room and said, go to my bed. But looking back, Leo, we didn't know the word abuse.
Right. I was going to ask you about that.
No, we didn't know the word abuse. Yeah. We know that children get beaten.
Yeah.
And we know that if you're rude, you get beaten.
How do you feel about it now versus versus then? Yeah.
Well, Leo, you say me never get them beaten. I don't know what I'd do because maybe I'd be loose. And it
held you together.
It held me together. But now, beating now and beating then and now is totally different because the system dictates to you how you raise your child.
Right.
And what they're saying, talk to the child. But there are those mothers out there who were never spoken to as children. So they don't know how to sit their children and talk to them.
Right.
They've never been, Mark, them know their mother love them. Yes. Or them thinks that their mother love them. Yes. But the mother don't hug them, the mother don't tell them that they love them. So they in turn don't know how to pass that on to their children. And it's something that you have to teach yourself. Because I taught myself how to hug. Because when I was going to drama school, I did my plays. I play a child, I play a mother, I play a grandmother. And you have to hug because the script dictates it.
Yes.
And I said to myself one day, I am hugging these people and say, I love you and mama and whatnot. I must go home and hug my mother. Because I wasn't raised with my mother. I went to my mother and I was 13 to go to high school. And I went to high school. So that innate feeling wasn't there. So I taught myself.
Do you remember when you first hugged her? What was her response?
When I first
hugged your mom, did you remember hugging her?
It was surreal. It was. It's
a different feeling.
Because I was an adult then. I was an adult.
Okay.
I'm a graduate from a school of drama and I hugged her and really hugged her and tell her I love you, I love you.
Did she respond?
She responded in the affirmative.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. That's nice because sometimes those kind of expressions cause those kind of people, those kind of individuals who grew up the way your mom grew up, they would just freeze and just not say anything. So I'm glad to hear.
But you see, the thing is, her 2 last children, they were different, or the 4 last
children. So they had softened her up already.
They had softened her up.
Okay,
so,
got you. You know, I asked you what was Christmas like in your home. And you start telling me about the meat and all and things.
The meat.
No, Christmas, the build up to Christmas.
In my home where I grew up before I was 13, Christmas was a fun time.
Yes.
A fun time. The food was there. Mama and Daddy was by no means rich because they were farmers, right? No formal education, just primary school, and then Mama got married when she was 21 and Daddy was a little bit older. Yes. But they made sure that food was in the house, that we had a good Christmas dinner. They used to have like the Christmas dance over the school, and they have like merry-go-round, and we used to go to the merry-go-round, the Jankuno people then pass, and we'd go out and enjoy the Jankuno. They had Christmas fair at the school we used to go, but you make sure, say, if you're under 12, you reach back home early. Right. The boys could come home a little later.
Right.
But they have to take me home, and then
go back.
And then they go back.
Okay.
But apart from that, they used to have the trucks. You used to have a truck that passed through and throw a gift to the children. But that truck now that I've learned now that it was this man called Mr. Tapper, who was a very influential politician in the area. Never run for office, but he loved the politicians, so he used to go out and campaign for them. And what Mr. Tapper used to do was to dress up his truck and drove through the community with gifts and like Fifi and
Oh,
balloon
yes,
and
yes.
candy and just throw it as him see a child and just throw it out. That was our form of Santa Claus.
Oh, okay, okay. So did you ever go to what they call Christmas Eve again? Grand Market.
Grand
Did you have
Market.
Grand Market?
I went to Grand Market when I moved down to Troutall with my mother.
Okay.
I went to Grand Market, and I really didn't go to Grand Market until after I came from Kingston,
Okay.
because I usually go to when I was in Kingston. I used to go to Grand Market very often every year. But I remember the last Grand Market for me. I was an adult. I had my child, and everybody came to Canada.
Oh.
And I decided I wasn't going to come and leave my child alone down there for Christmas, right?
Right.
With no bigger cousin. So I decided to stay with all the kids. And that day, I went home, I buy turkey, I buy chicken, goat, pork, everything. And we cooked that day, start cooking. And that Grand Market night, I had 16 children in 2 cars. Take them to Frankfield to Grand Market. And I chained them up, one behind the other, like slave. Chained them up, and I had a big niece at the front, and I am at the back.
Wow.
Of the line. And funny, she met some of her friends because she was going to Edwin Island Comprehensive at the time. And she met her friends and they want to go out. And she said, I said, Auntie, Dad, can I go out with my friend? My shame, my friend, and my laugh after me. I said, tell your friend them to continue laugh. I said, you have a job here to make sure that the front of this line don't go into the crowd.
Right.
So we took them up to a restaurant, like a shop restaurant. And I said to the guys, 16 of them here to eat. I make 17, and I want 2 tables put up together, or 4 tables. And I said, I want them to get crockery to eat out of. Not no box, not no paper plate. I want good plate.
Wow.
And I want knife and fork for all of them.
Okay.
And the little man look at me and said, but ma'am, I said, listen, me not begging you the food. I'm paying for the food. You see, when the man don't serve for the 17 of us, he pot empty. But he was happy.
Yes.
So he had to start cooking again for the
So you were
rest of
just
the
showing
night.
the kids a little bit the different. Like,
Yes, I was just showing them something different. Christmas Day now, when dinner was ready and I made the table for them, and some of them were afraid to eat around the table. And my aunt who lives here, she had a nice big Dutch pot that she bought, and she couldn't carry when she came down, and she had it over the cupboard top. And I said, give me that Dutch pot, I can cook the curry goat in it. And my niece said, no, Auntie Dawn, you can't cook in it. It's Aunt Ann pot. I said, well, tell Aunt Ann to leave from Canada. Come down here, come tell me not to cook in her pot. I said, when I finish cook, you don't want to scour it and make it back be as shine as it was and put back up there, it's your problem. So, you put them around a table, you make them eat and let them feel like they belong.
Yes.
And that is what I do to my nieces. And they will tell you now that they remember that day. They remember I used to go out and I never used to put my daughter in front of them.
Yes.
Because I have one child.
Yes.
I never put them, and if my daughter is wrong, she get the blunt of it.
Yes.
If somebody do something, I never say, oh, it's not Yannick.
Yes.
I said, why did you get yourself involved in that? You are guilty as they are.
Yes.
So I give justice where justice is.
Tell me about how did you get into the business of culture and drama?
Well, from a little bit at James Hill School, I was always very inclined into poetry. When the teacher would give us a poem to go and learn, I was like the first one knowing about the poem when I go back. She could give me a poem this evening, and tomorrow morning I go back to school, I just read it one time and then I started performing. I remember one of the first thing I did at James was all-age school. I was in grade 4 or 3 or 4, and they had a concert, and I went up and did this song. Jungle say, "In can't walk past Sunday, can't walk past Sunday." Jungle say, "In can't walk past Sunday, can't walk past Sunday." Think a lie me tell, kill you magako. Think a lie me tell, kill you magako. Jungle say, "In can't walk past Sunday, can't walk can't walk past Sunday. John girl say, he must study fi pass. Can't walk past Sunday. John girl say, him a big time teacher. Can't walk past Sunday. And I'm telling you, I dressed up in daddy jacket and him hat, and I had on a red beak. And my teacher, Miss Harris McKay, said to me, you are destined for greatness. You are going to get far. And I continued doing that. Then when I went to Chota School and Clarendon College, I started doing Miss Lou. I remember I did my very first gold medal I got for the festival was a Miss Lou poem about poor Sammy. No, Iwoti.
Can't say it now?
You don't remember it, you know? It was about a play she went to see at Ward Theatre. And all that was going on. She was just saying the play was worth her while, worth it. Okay. But I've go back and study it.
So when did you first meet Miss Lou?
I met Miss Lou at drama school.
Tell me about
I think I was in third year. And she came for one term and taught voice and speech. And Randy Williams came the following third and taught the same thing. But what her thing was to get us to understand the dialect, to appreciate it, and to translate things from English to dialect. But Randy Williams came to make sure that we can talk the patois.
Oh, that's a difference.
So that's. But then when I met her, I did pantomime, but she was out of the pantomime before. But I met her at her home at off Finch, where she used to live, off Birchmount.
Here in Florida, in Canada.
And I went to visit her. In fact, Rafaelita Walker, which is Babs's mom, took me to her and told her what I could do, and she asked me to do one of her poems, and I did it. I just said, but girl, you sound better than me. And then when there's a group that was doing Randy Williams, I think 25th anniversary of his death, and they asked me to do something. Me, Marcia Brown, and Kevin, we did one of you know the program with Master and Miss Lou.
Yes,
we did a program like that, and then I did a dialect, and she put me into the back room around there, and she said to me, let me hear the dialect that you're going to do. And the costume, I was in her costume, not this one, but a different thing, bandan. And when I did it, she said, there's one thing I want you to learn. When you finish your performance, you must sing this song. Walk good on your way, and good up he walk with you. Walk good every day, and good up he walk with you. Every day walk good on your way, walk good, good follow you. If you just walk good. And when I performed for her and then sang, she said, but how you learn it so fast? I said, I'm like that, Miss Lou. I learn things, as you say, who is here. And I learned it, and when I went up and performed, a man gave her a breadfruit, a warm baked breadfruit. And when she get it, Miss Lou said, but I know roast breadfruit this. And the man said, no, Miss Lou, it's baked breadfruit. And she called me up, and I received the breadfruit on her behalf. So all three of us are in a photograph with that breadfruit. But Miss Lou is good. She was good to me. I also met her at the consulate. We went to the consulate, and when they gave her an honor, and I performed for her there. But the thing that beats me, on my third wedding anniversary, Miss Lou did. A group from the States came over, or they had come to honor her at the consulate. Everybody making preparation for Miss Lou to come to the consulate. And on the 26th of July, the morning, Carolyn called me and said, Miss Letna, I don't think we're going to do the thing for Miss Lou at the consulate today. And I said, why? She said, because Miss Lou just dead. I said, how you mean Miss Lou just dead? She said, Miss Lou went to hospital yesterday and she just dead. I said, but Miss Lou can't dead for my anniversary. Oh, she forgot that I'm going to perform for her. So when she told me that, I just walked out of the office, told my husband, I said, I soon come back. And when I went to North General Hospital, there was Miss Lou dead on my third wedding anniversary. It was so sad. I mean, I didn't get to celebrate my anniversary. We went down to the concert, and for the entire night till must about 3 o'clock, we had poetry and singing and dancing down there in her honor, because the group that was there, they still did what they had to do, and the Consul General accept the honor on our behalf.
So, who are some of the people that you had worked with while you're in Jamaica?
Well, I work with the King of Comedy, Oliver Samuels,
Okay.
Valier Johnson,
Oh, wow.
Dion Silvera, Glenn Campbell, Dennis Titus. I did something with Rosie Murray, Karen Harriet, Claudette Pius, and quite a bit of people from the pantomime.
Right.
There are so many, because I did pantomime. I did, I think, 2 or 3 pantomimes. But the big names, Leonie Forbes, Faye Ellington. I did one play with Faye Ellington, which was written and directed by Louis Marriott, called Bedward. I played Mrs. Bedward, and Faye played Sister Plunkett, which was very good and excellent.
She spoke very highly of you when I sent the thing out. She wrote back to me and said, "Oh, this Letna."
Oh, Faye, Auntie Faye, she is good. I respect her. Because as a child growing up, I used to hear about Faye and the Morning Ride.
I know that's where she come from too.
She come from Smithville.
Okay.
Smithville.
Okay, I see.
And the Morning Ride. And I always said, you know, you want to meet Oliver, you want to meet Valier, you want to meet Faye. So when you get into their presence, and you see them, them feel and look just like you, and you say, oh my God. And I am sure she will tell that a lot of people say when they meet her, they say, you know how long I want to meet you, and look at you now. You know, so that reverence that I have, that humility that I have when I'm around them, it speaks volume. That respect. I would never disrespect her work. I would never say anything wrong about her, because I've learned so much from her. A woman, a fighter, a woman who has gone through all sorts of adversities, and she fought them off, and look at her now.
Yes.
She is. Oliver Samuels the same. Only too bad that Valier had to go, but you know.
Blacker also commented also. He says, he says that.
Blacker, oh yes. Blacker and I went to drama school together. Blacker was a year ahead of me.
Okay.
And then when he left, he went to teaching. And then he came here after me and went to York at his master's, and went back home, and now doing a program by itself, a new program at the Jamaica School of Drama, which is very good. And he's a good comedian. He and his brother, IT.
Yes.
Is IT's his brother? Yes, IT Ellis. The IT and Fancy Cat fame. I don't know if they're still doing what they're doing.
Still doing their thing.
Okay, yeah.
So what's the difference you find doing your work in Jamaica versus doing it here in Canada?
What I like with Jamaica, and I find it a challenge, but I like it, you have to be good. Because when I go down to Jamaica and I do a Miss Lou, I'm going out to perform, I am nervous. Because I am saying that there's one person there who's going to say, no, sir. She never do Miss Lou justice. But when you finish performing, everybody come and say, oh my God. You know? It's like one day I was talking to, what's this girl name? She went to Clarendon College. She come from Chapel, and she do Miss Lou. Okay, Dark. Faith Diagala.
Oh, wow.
Faith Diagala and I were talking.
Oh, my God.
She and I were talking one day on WhatsApp. And we were going into this Miss Lou thing, right? So me talking like Miss Lou. But she said, Lux, Miss Letna, what the way you sound like Miss Lou, my child? No, don't tell me that this is a reincarnation of Miss Lou. So I said, but Faith, you sound just like Miss Lou too. But am I listening to myself? No, Faith, me I talk to myself. And me I answer back myself. She said, but that the same thing happened to me. Me I talk to myself and answer back myself. And you know, when you finish and people come, I remember they had Miss Lou, I think her 100th birthday, and they had some children at CPTC. And when I walk in there in my Miss Lou thing, some little children come and say, Miss Lou, me think you did dead, you know? Miss Lou, come back. Miss Lou, that's why I kept the costume. And then, before she passed, I asked her if I can use her costume. She said, yes, man, as long as you keep my spirit alive.
Wow.
And that is why I keep wearing Miss Lou's costume, you know. And when I started, I used to give like 10% of what I got made to Pace for her basic school. And I still do it sometimes, but you know, the pickings sort of slow sometimes.
Yes,
So
yes.
when I do it sometimes, I send it to Fabian and
Yes.
and to Pace, and they send it down to thing.
So you spend a lot of time with kids, right, Miss Lou?
Yes. I go into the schools, and but my only challenge in the schools when I go to the schools now is the demography of students in the school. Most of them are Indians, so I cannot. It's like when you go to the classroom in Jamaica, you start everybody understand. Here, I have to stylize it so that they can understand it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I remember I went to Saskatchewan and I had some kids. I went there Wednesday. It was for Jamaica 57, I think. Jamaica 57 or 53, one of them. And I went there the Wednesday. The performance was Saturday. And I said, how am I going to teach these kids a Miss Lou dialect? So what I did, I took a dialect. I went name. I said, but boy, you don't have no shame. You go foreign and you come back ugly same way.
Yes, I know that.
And what I did, each child, I gave a verse. Now, these kids are born here, except for one. These kids are born in Canada. So I gave each one of them a verse. Type it out and give them a verse. And tell them to go home and study them at their parents. Teach them how to say it. And would be surprised, Leo, those kids learn that dialect.
Wow, that's nice.
Each of them. And then I did Carry Me Akigwa Linstead Market. And then I did a Calypso song with them. So they had 3 items to do for the Jamaica Independence celebration. I went there Wednesday and prepared them for Saturday. So I love, but kids like those, kids who are raised in Jamaican household, although they don't talk the patois, you can talk patois to them. It's just like Italians or the Greek or the Chinese. They speak to their children in their language, and the kids return answer them in English. So they teach the parents English as well. So, but when I go into a school now with all Indians or white kids, and I have to stylize it and teach them the patois. Sometimes it sounds so funny, but most of the time when I talk to them and I'm doing like a dialect, I stylize it and do it in English so that they understand it.
Louise Bennett Coverley for National Hero.
100%.
Tell me why.
Miss Lou has done so much for Jamaica in terms of the language. When Miss Lou was growing up, when she was writing her poems, nobody wanted to hear it because we had the old colonialism thing. And if you don't speak the Queen's English, you're nothing, you know? And that is one of the things that bring the classism in Jamaica. And the way Miss Lou spoke back then, people would say she's from the ghetto, she's from the lower class, right? And I'm surprised now. You turn on the radio, the first thing you hear is morning. The TV, morning, how to do? You know? 40, 50 years ago, you could never have done that on radio or television. And even if you listen to Faye on the radio, Faye speaks perfect English on the radio when she's doing an interview on television or radio. Faye, because Faye grew up into that thing, right? So I was reading a poem that Joan, what's her name now again? Bumpy Girl wrote about how people looked at her with her tiny bump. Our Nubian nuts, tiny bump, and people used to say, what kind of workless girl this? And I said to her, Joan, don't worry. Because the same people, them know them wearing locks like me.
Yes.
And them hair is all natural and gray. Because they have realized that Jamaica, we have to stand out amongst the crowd. And when you go into a crowd, people know that you are Jamaican. So Miss Lou gave us that option. Music is an international language. You don't have to know the song. You don't have to know the words. From hear a reggae music strum and everybody take it. So in terms of giving Bob Marley a hero, and giving Miss Lou hero. I think Miss Lou deserves it more than Bob Marley. Because like I said, music is international.
Yes.
Everybody understands music, but it's not everybody understands the Jamaican dialect. And I said to people, when you go out, I said, in a dialect that I have a Miss Lou called language, I stylize it. And I said, if you are living in a complex, and you have a Chinese, you have a Greek, you have an Indian, you have a Spanish family, right? All other different culture. And you have one black family. And you look through your window and you see all the children out there playing. And those other families look through their windows and see their children playing. But because of racism and color prejudice, them don't want their children to play with the black child. Maybe your child is as black as the phone there. You know what I mean? And they will tell their child to come inside in their language. That poor child in the middle of that ring don't know what they're saying. But all of a sudden, those children leave. So before that happens, you tell your parents, say, take yourself inside and come out of the dirt and come bathe and come read your book and come watch television in your dialect. Nobody knows what you tell the child. You can't go out there and go say, oh, Leo, stop playing with those kids. Come on in, they're not good for you. Everybody know that because everybody know some part of the English language.
Yes.
But when the Chinaman use for him, kaka, 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 whatever, and the Indian, Sri Lankan use him, iri, iri, you don't know what they're saying. I go to an event. I am the chair for my Liberal Riding Association, Federal, right? And my MP is Tamil. And 99% of his supporters or people who come to his office, they're Tamils, right? They all get to know me. And when they're having their conversation, I learn one word in Tamil and it's wanakkam. And wanakkam mean, how are you doing, right? So when I go into them, I go into the office and I see them and they're there talking, I go, I say, wanakkam. And everybody say, oh, wanakkam, wanakkam. And then when they start to talk and laugh, I laugh with them too. So one asked me one day, say, Letna, you understand what we say? I said, of course. Why do you think I'm enjoying the joke so much? I don't understand a thing. But them don't realize that I don't understand it, so they must speak English.
Yes. Yes.
You understand?
Got you.
They have to speak English because there's somebody. But me and you go out to do something, and we're talking, and they would want to say, oh, you have to speak English, you know. I remember I went to England with Oliver Samuels, and they said to Oliver, you have to speak English. And Oliver said, no, me not changing up the script. Me not change it up. If them don't understand, make them try get a translator beside them so that you can tell them what is going on and they will understand. And don't bring white people come to the play because I'm not going to change up my script and my dialect to please anybody. I'm getting paid to do.
It's hard to change it up to make it be as authentic.
That's right.
Yeah.
If the script is written in standard English, you deliver it in standard English. Right. But if the script is written in patois, it's hard.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Boy, I am so happy to sit there. I could chat with you all day long because you just bring out the best in Jamaica in me. I love what you say. I love the things that you brought back home. Because on the show that I have, it's like I am the old man. I'm the only one who can talk about the 3-foot pot and the creng. Them can't talk about it because they're not accustomed. Them don't have the 100
Yeah,
pound.
remember they up on a 3-foot truck.
I will remember where name again?
The 3-foot truck, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. And
Mr.
then Copy Dumpy too, right?
Copy and Peg Leg.
And Peg Leg, yes. Oh!
Mr. Brown always out of Spanish Town, you know.
Yes.
When you ask where Mr. Brown is, in the 3-foot 3-wheel coffin, Mr. Brown is in Spanish Town. So everybody get off the road. And them used to say one time when you go trust furniture from courts and pay, Dillarans come fling stone by your out. Stop.
When you again draw something.
Me no remember
Leo. His name was at courts man. His name was Leo something and another.
Me no remember
he died.
one
Yes.
name.
Okay. Them say him could have drive, and the car and him shoot bullet and the bullet take corner.
Yes. And then when you throw, when you pay for your furniture, you fix to, but a people quite scared for come throw stone for your house top, you know.
I know. Oh,
In the dark.
Oh, so you don't believe in the Uber thing then, right?
No, sir. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in it.
But you grew up around it though.
I grew up, listen now. One night, we go to watch night service. Me and mama come home. And when we reach a one church named Tabernacle Church, I swear I see a white frock going up the road with no head. And all of a sudden, mama start to speak in tongues, you know. Mama start to speak in tongues because mama saw it too.
Oh.
I don't know which adopt come out on the road, but we're coming from watch night service in the dark, and mama start to speak in tongues. And daddy said to mama, Winnie, watch what I'm going to do now. And him take out, because daddy used to smoke, but he used to love go watch night service with us, right? And daddy take out him matches, and him strike one, and him fling it behind him. Him strike two, and he fling it behind him, and he strike the third one and then flash it and put it in his pocket.
Okay.
So mama said, why you do that, JP? He said, to make that sucker stay back there and go.
I can't cut the tree.
all that sucker is going to say, 1, 2, where the other day. 1, 2, where the other day. 1, 2, where the other. Says 1, 2, where the other is.
You should make me laugh on the interview. You should make me laugh like that.
Yeah, that is that sucker stay the count now. 1, 2, where the other day. 1, 2, find 2 matches, can't find the third.
Yeah,
because the third one is in daddy's pocket.
So you can't follow you.
No, stay there and count matches till daylight.
What a lovely evening this evening I've spent with you, Letna. And thank you so much for being here with me, man. It's been so much fun.
Oh my God.
Wrap it up, man, and tell the people what you want to tell them, say.
Well, I just want to tell you that I love doing what I do. When I'm on stage, I walk with my cane because I did my knee replacement and it's hurting me as I'm sitting down here now. When I get up, it out, take my lung to straighten up. But when I'm on stage, when I'm performing, when I'm doing what I love, I feel no pain. Right. When I go home now, that's when the pain take me, and then I rub up with some Vicks and whatnot and go to my bed and put up the feet high. Yes. But I just want to let you know that, I love you. And I want you guys to take care of yourself, because wherever I go, whatever I do, I always do this, and I always say this. Take care of yourself. Life is short. Get your checks. Cancer is my nemesis. I love talking about cancer because I know when I talk about cancer, somebody will hear me. Even one person will hear me and do likewise and go get checked. Because I didn't know when I got cancer in Leo, I lost about 30 pounds. And it's when I lose the weight that they found a lump in my breast. And I said to my doctor, but how can this happen? I am fit. I've lost this weight. I'm walking every day. I'm exercising. I'm eating properly. She said, because the cancer was under the fat in the breast. That's why they've never seen it, which I really don't believe her. But I got cancer. So I just asked everybody to just go get checked. And men, again, if you have balls, don't just sit on it. Get them checked.
All right.
That will help you.
Thank you so much, Letna. And thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.